CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
Good evening. We begin again tonight in Centennial Square in Victoria with an ugly incident that may be the turning point, the beginning of the end of the Occupy Victoria camp. A city worker was doused with urine this morning as he tried to remove a bicycle from a tree where there's a protester perched. Police are recommending a charge of assault, but they're holding back on making an arrest, at least for now. And the city went to court today for an injunction that would force the campers to vacate the square as ordered. CTV's Stephen Andrew reports.
A city worker moves in to remove a bike tied up in Victoria's Centennial Square. Liquid suddenly pours down, thrown by a man tree squatting above. It takes a few seconds for the worker to figure out what happened, but when he does, it's not good. Drenched and smelling of urine, the worker frantically discards his gear and begins to retch. The tree squatter taunts city staff as they quickly remove the worker from the area.
It's disgusting that something like this would happen in our city, and I'm really disappointed. I certainly feel for the parks worker who's just trying to do his job here.
The tree squatter identifies himself as Lyle Barrette. Court records show he has a history of violence and making threats. Victoria Police say they are forwarding charges to Crown Counsel. Barrette is unfazed by the news.
So what? Big deal.
And when asked if police should try to move in and remove him from the tree...
Well, I got rotten eggs for that, and if I have to, I'll throw dog shit on them. Whatever it takes to protect my property, everybody else gets to do the same.
The only people allowed up for now, another protester, providing Barrette with food, including what appears to be eggs. But police have no immediate plans to arrest the tree squatter.
We would, like to have this man under arrest, but we have to put everybody's safety into account, his as well, including officers that would go up there if we needed the fire department to bring a bucket up. It's everybody's safety we have to put paramount.
The incident comes on the same day city officials issue the people occupying the square with notice. It is seeking a court injunction to remove their tents and belongings. But the city is hoping for voluntary compliance with its November 15th deadline.
We're not sure that we're fairly certain. What's happening here is different than it was intended 2 weeks ago. It's different, and it's not compatible with the planned community uses that we have coming forward.
Those uses are Christmas celebrations in a square that even the city is telling its staff they can avoid if they don't feel safe. As for the worker showered with urine, the city is recommending he seek medical advice.
We will be very aware of, or make sure that we're very aware of anything that he declares to be a concern to him, and we will be conducting a full investigation of the incident and the instructions and how we want to proceed in the future so that this doesn't happen again.
Whatever the outcome of that investigation, the turn of events in Centennial Square today is leaving a bad taste in the mouths of more than just city workers.
Stephen Andrew joins us now live with more on the story. Stephen, I think whatever support there may have been for the movement evaporated in many quarters today with what we saw. What's the status on the injunction application?
Well, what's going to happen now is the people that received that injunction application, they have a few days to respond by the 10th. Then the applicant, which is the city, then can go back to the court by the 14th, and hopefully they'll have that decision by the 15th of November. And then, of course, once that's in hand, then they move forward, though that doesn't give them the right to move in and just remove them, en masse, because they really are concerned about the issues on that. They're going to have to step up their enforcement campaign and hopefully move it along a little faster. City taking a very go-slow approach on this, Hudson.
All right, we'll check back with you at 6, Stephen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The incident in the square this morning was the talk of the town today, but this afternoon the word urine was trending on Twitter in Victoria. Many believe that what happened today will turn public opinion against the protesters. Here's some of what you had to tell us.
I think it's gone too far. I guess they're bordering on civil disobedience now. I think a lot of people were sympathetic to their cause at first, but now I think they've gone too far.
The longer it goes, the I think the more heated everybody's opinion gets, or their emotions get, and then it's going to keep escalating. So we should decide something sooner rather than later.
They're really grasping at straws when you're throwing urine. That's, yeah, let's grow up.
It's a glorified camp out now, is what it is, and I just try to stay away from it, to be honest.
Definitely missing the point on what the purpose of all this was, and I think now it's just getting out of hand. And you got people who are pushing their own agendas and doing their own things now, and it's, yeah, personally, I think it's time for this to stop.
Joining us now with more on the story is Vic PD media spokesperson, Constable Mike Russell. Constable Russell, thanks for joining us. I think the question many of us were asking today, many people around the city and many who may have just seen this now, is why didn't the police move in and arrest this man?
Well, you know, Hudson, that's something we certainly would have liked to have done, but we really have to make sure everybody's safety is taken into account. We would have a lot of officers, you know, possibly some civilians in the form of fire department, and this offender's, you know, his safety as well. So something we certainly have to take care of and make sure that doesn't affect anything.
And yet, if someone were to stand at the bottom of that tree and throw rocks up into the tree, I think the expectation would be that the police would move in fairly quickly and make an arrest in that case.
Well, you know, that's a different circumstance when he's at the bottom of the tree. We have some logistical difficulties getting somebody safely down from a tree, especially, you see, you know, bringing up things like the eggs and talking about dog poop. You know, there's going to be some serious negotiation to try and get him down.
So what happens now? You keep the tree under surveillance in case he tries to sneak off in the dead of night?
Yeah, we'll be watching it. We're also going to be making plans and see, you know, if we can make a move into the tree, but I don't know what that's going to end up being, what it's going to end up looking like.
Should that city worker have been sent in this morning under the circumstances? Was it naive to think that there might not have been some resistance?
Well, you know, he was doing his job, and that's the unfortunate part, is trying to make it safe for himself to get up there. He's removing the bicycle so it wouldn't fall on him. So, you know, he's just trying to be out there and keep the square clean, like all the city employees that have been working so hard with that. So it certainly is disappointing.
What happens if and when the injunction proceeds then to get the square cleared? What's your plan, and what's the city expecting of the police department in support?
Well, our plan from day one has been to end this peacefully. We've had people in negotiating with the occupiers. We've been trying very hard to get them to leave voluntarily. And if that doesn't happen, we're going to have to take other measures. I don't know what those will be right now, but enough is enough, especially when things like this are happening right in the middle of our city. It's not safe for anybody to be down there.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Constable Mike Russell, thank you.
Thank you.